My wife ran off with her ex and expects me to just wait for her while she figures things out. So I, 34M, am going through some serious marital issues right now. I own a restaurant, always been the stable one, married to Olivia for 5 years. My parents are well, they mean well, but my mom especially can be a bit dismissive of my feelings, always telling me to man up or whatever, which is really helpful in this situation, let me tell you. Olivia has been distant lately. I mean really distant. I'm not usually one to jump to conclusions, but something felt off. Now I know why. She says she's confused. Confused, after 5 years of marriage. I'm trying to be understanding, but this whole thing feels like a nightmare. I keep thinking, what did I miss? Should I just give her the space she says she needs? I don't even know what to do. It was a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays are usually slow at the restaurant, so I actually had a few minutes to myself. I was checking the reservations for the night when Olivia's phone buzzed on the counter. She'd left it charging. Normally, I wouldn't even glance at it, but the screen lit up with a text preview from Dave. Dave, her ex. My stomach dropped. I know, snooping is bad, but something in me just snapped. I picked it up. Miss you already, can't wait to see you tonight. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Miss you already, see you tonight. Where the hell was she going tonight? She told me she was staying at her mom's to think. I scrolled up. More texts, days of them, sweet nothings, inside jokes, hearts. My hands started shaking. Nausea rolled over me in waves. I had to grab the edge of the counter to steady myself. Another text came through, same guy. Don't tell the idiot anything yet, let him stew. The idiot. He was talking about me like I was some kind of obstacle. I felt my face flush hot and prickly. I read the messages again. And again. It was like some sick, twisted joke. This couldn't be happening. This wasn't my life, I called her. It went straight to voicemail. I called her mother. Oh honey, Olivia isn't here. She went out with a friend. A friend, right, I could hear the lie in her voice. My own mother covering for her. I barely remember the rest of the day, just a blur of anger, confusion, and this deep, gnawing shame. Shame that I hadn't seen it coming. Shame that I was being played for a fool. When I finally got a hold of Olivia, she just said she needed space to figure things out. Figure things out. With her ex. Behind my back. I felt like I was going to be sick. Right there in the middle of my own damn restaurant. I hung up. I just hung up. I didn't even know what to say. I'd never felt so betrayed in my entire life. I tried to talk to my parents. Big mistake. Huge. I went over to their house that night, still reeling. My mom made tea, which would have been nice if she hadn't been looking at me with this pitying expression, like I was some wounded puppy. My dad just sat there, stoic as ever, flipping through channels on the TV. He didn't even bother to mute it. Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you about Olivia, I started, trying to keep my voice steady. My hands were shaking so badly I had to grip the mug with both of them. Oh, Ethan, my mom sighed, patting my hand. Women are complicated, you just need to give her some space. Space. She's with her ex, Mom. She's literally with her ex. My voice cracked. I couldn't keep the anger out of it anymore. Now, Ethan, my dad finally chimed in, not even looking at me. Don't jump to conclusions. He actually chuckled, like this was some kind of sitcom. Jump to conclusions? I saw the texts, Dad, she's been seeing him for days. My mom just shook her head. Oh, you know how dramatic Olivia can be. She probably just needs some attention. Attention. She was getting plenty of attention, from another guy. Attention, she's getting attention all right. She's getting attention from the guy she's sleeping with. I yelled. I could feel the blood rushing to my face. Ethan, don't be vulgar, my mom snapped. There's no need to shout. No need to shout. My wife was running around with her ex and I was being told not to shout. This was insane. She's manipulating you, Ethan, my mom continued like I was some kind of idiot. She'll come crawling back when she's done with her little phase. A phase? She called cheating a phase. My hands were clenched so tight my knuckles were white. I slammed the mug down on the coffee table, tea sloshing over the side. She's not manipulating me, she's cheating on me. My dad finally turned to me, his face etched with annoyance. Ethan, you're being overly sensitive, just calm down. Overly sensitive. Calm down. That was the moment I realized it. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just family being family. This was toxic. They were dismissing my pain, minimizing my feelings, and acting like I was the problem. They were taking her side. I stood up, my legs shaking. I couldn't breathe. I can't believe you guys. I just can't. I walked out. I didn't even say goodbye, I just left. And as I drove away, all I could think was, I'm completely alone in this. Utterly and completely alone. A week later and things have gone from bad to nuclear. My parents, bless their clueless hearts, decided to intervene. Intervene. As if I'm the one causing the problem. They invited Olivia and her entire family over for dinner, without telling me. I walked into my parents' house, expecting a quiet Sunday dinner, and was met with the Spanish Inquisition. Olivia, her parents, her sister, her brother-in-law, even her grandmother were all sitting around the dining room table, staring at me like I was some kind of zoo animal. I literally froze in the doorway. My mom bustled over, a sickly sweet smile plastered on her face. "Ethan, dear, so glad you could make it. We're just having a little family meeting." A family meeting? About my marriage, without my consent. I felt the blood drain from my face. Olivia didn't even look at me. She just sat there fiddling with her napkin, a picture of wounded innocence. Her mother, however, was giving me the stink eye of the century. "Ethan," my mom continued, her voice dripping with forced cheerfulness, "Olivia has told us everything. Everything." As if I was the one who needed to be filled in. "Everything," I repeated, my voice shaking. I could feel my hands starting to clench. "Yes, dear," my mom chirped, "and we all agree that you need to be more understanding." Understanding? I wanted to scream. I wanted to flip the table. I don't even know what I wanted to do. Understanding? I managed to choke out. "She's living with her ex, Mom. And you want me to be understanding?" Olivia's mother jumped in, her voice sharp and accusatory. "Olivia just needs some time to find herself, Ethan. You've been stifling her." "Stifling her? Stifling her? I've supported her dreams, I've worked my ass off to build a life for us, and she repays me by running off with her ex." I could feel my voice rising. I didn't care. I was done being polite. I was done being the good son. "Don't you raise your voice at my daughter," Olivia's father boomed, his face red with anger. Then the grandmother chimed in, shaking her head sadly. "Such a disappointment. Olivia deserves so much better." "Deserves better? Are you kidding me?" I felt like I was trapped in some absurd reality TV show. My own family, ganging up on me, defending the woman who had betrayed me in the worst possible way. It was surreal. I looked at Olivia. She still wouldn't meet my eyes, just kept picking at that damn napkin. I felt this wave of disgust wash over me, not just for her but for the whole charade, for my family's willingness to participate in this public humiliation. "You know what?" I said, my voice low and steady. "I'm done." I turned and walked out. I didn't look back. I could hear them calling after me, but I didn't stop. I just kept walking. And as I walked, I realized something. I couldn't keep letting them treat me like this. I couldn't keep letting Olivia walk all over me. I needed to take action. I needed to protect myself. This wasn't just about my marriage anymore. This was about my self-respect. And I wasn't going to let them take that away from me. I was a wreck, couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, barely functioning at the restaurant. Luckily, Ben, my sous chef, is a good friend. He'd noticed something was off. One afternoon, during a lull between lunch and dinner, he caught me staring blankly at the wall, a half-eaten sandwich abandoned on my plate. "Dude," he said, putting a hand on my shoulder. "You look like you've seen a ghost. What's up?" I hesitated. Talking about it, it felt like admitting failure, like airing my dirty laundry, but the words just tumbled out. "Olivia, she's gone, she left." Ben's eyebrows shot up. "Left, like left," I nodded, picking at the sandwich. "She said she needed space to think." "Think about what?" I took a deep breath. "Think about whether she wants to stay married to me." Ben stared at me, his mouth slightly open, then he slowly shook his head. "Seriously, seriously," I confirmed, the word heavy in my mouth. "And she's staying at her mom's." Ben's expression changed. He knew my mother-in-law. And his mommy dearest, giving her the all men are scum speech on repeat. I gave a weak laugh, it felt hollow. "Worse, Olivia's not even at her mom's, she's with her ex." Ben's jaw dropped. "Her ex? You're kidding, right?" I shook my head, the shame burning in my throat. I told him about the texts, about the idiot comment, about the sickening feeling of betrayal. Ben listened, his face a mask of disbelief. When I finished, he let out a low whistle. "Man," he said, shaking his head. "That's wow, just wow." He was quiet for a moment, then he looked at me, his expression serious. "Ethan, if she's test driving her ex, that's basically cheating." That sentence. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Cheating. I'd been so caught up in trying to be understanding, so focused on what I had done wrong, that I hadn't allowed myself to see it for what it was. Cheating, plain and simple. "Cheating," I repeated, the word feeling strange and foreign on my tongue. Ben nodded. "Yeah, man, she's disrespecting you. She's disrespecting your marriage. She's making you the backup plan." Backup plan. Those words echoed in my mind. It was like a light bulb went off. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. Her distance, the secrecy, the texts, the lies, it wasn't about me. It wasn't about my shortcomings. It was about her wanting to have her cake and eat it too, about her wanting me waiting in the wings just in case things didn't work out with Mr. Wonderful too. I felt a surge of anger, hot, righteous anger. It was like a dam had burst inside me. All the hurt, all the confusion, all the shame it transformed into this raw, powerful emotion. I'm not a backup plan, I said, my voice shaking. Ben put a hand on my shoulder, squeezing it reassuringly. You're damn right you're not. You deserve better than this, Ethan. And in that moment, I knew he was right. I deserved better. I deserved someone who chose me, not someone who treated me like a consolation prize. Talking to Ben, it changed everything. It gave me the clarity I desperately needed. It helped me see that I wasn't crazy, that my feelings were valid, and that I didn't have to put up with this. It was a turning point, a moment of realization that set me on a new path, a path where I finally started to put myself first. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Olivia. I hadn't heard from her in days, not since the family meeting from hell. My hand actually trembled as I reached for the phone. Maybe she'd come to her senses. Maybe she was ready to apologize. Maybe the message flashed on the screen. Short, to the point, brutal. I want to stay with him for a bit and see how it goes. David, her ex, the guy who called me the idiot. I stared at the words, my blood running cold. Stay with him. See how it goes. Like we were talking about a new brand of cereal, not our marriage. It was so casual, so disrespectful, so utterly heartless. Then another text. This one from a different number. A number I didn't recognize. I opened it. Hey man, just wanted to let you know Olivia's with me now. Respect her wishes and give her some space. It was David, texting me from his phone telling me to back off. The audacity. The sheer, unadulterated gall. I saw red. My vision blurred. My hands clenched so tight my fingernails dug into my palms. That was the final straw. The moment everything snapped, it was like a switch flipped inside me. All the hurt, the confusion, the humiliation, it coalesced into this white-hot rage. I wasn't sad anymore. I wasn't confused. I wasn't even heartbroken. I was just furious. My chest ached. My head throbbed. I could feel the blood pounding in my ears. I paced the length of my apartment, my phone clutched in my hand like a weapon. This wasn't about Olivia anymore. This was about me, about my self-worth, about refusing to be treated like a doormat, like a backup plan, like I didn't matter. I stopped pacing. Took a deep breath. The anger was still there, but it was different now. Controlled, focused, empowering. I knew what I had to do. I went to my desk, opened my laptop, and started searching for divorce lawyers. All right, Reddit, you want to know how I prepped for the confrontation of the century? Let me tell you, I didn't go in blind. I went in armed. First, I documented everything. Printed out every text message, every email, screenshots of call logs. I even dug up old photos of us together happy, just to remind myself of what she threw away. This wasn't just for emotional reasons, though that helped. This was evidence, cold, hard, irrefutable proof of her betrayal. I organized it all into a neat little binder. It felt good, like holding all the power. Next, I lawyered up. Found a shark, a real pit bull, someone who wouldn't let Olivia and her family walk all over me. We talked strategy, discussed my options. He laid out the whole divorce process. It was brutal hearing all the legalities, but it also felt empowering, like I was finally taking control. I also called in my reinforcements. Ben, my rock, was already on board. He'd seen the whole thing unfold. He knew how badly I'd been treated. Having him in my corner, backing me up, it meant the world. I needed that. I needed to know I wasn't alone. He even offered to be there when I finally confronted Olivia, just in case things got heated. Total bro move, but the biggest preparation, the most important part, it wasn't the lawyer or the evidence or even Ben, it was me. I had to get my head right. I had to stop blaming myself, stop second-guessing, stop hoping she'd come crawling back. I had to accept that it was over, that she had made her choice, and that I deserved better. I spent hours just thinking, processing, mourning the loss of the future I thought we had. It was painful, brutal, necessary. I let myself feel the anger, the hurt, the betrayal, but I didn't let it consume me. I used it. I channeled it into this quiet determination, this steely resolve, this absolute certainty that I was doing the right thing. So, yeah, I was ready. Bring on the confrontation. Let her come crying and begging and trying to explain. I wasn't going to fall for it. I had my evidence. I had my lawyer, I had my friend, and most importantly, I had myself. I was ready to fight. I was ready to move on. I was ready to reclaim my life. And nobody, not even Olivia, was going to stop me. Game on. The bell above the restaurant door jingled and I looked up from polishing glasses. Olivia. Standing there, looking smaller than I remembered, her eyes red-rimmed. The restaurant was empty, just Ben prepping in the kitchen, giving me a nod of support from across the room. Ethan, she started, her voice trembling. Can we talk? I set the glass down, my hand surprisingly steady. I guess so. I gestured to a nearby booth. She slid in, clutching her purse like a shield. I sat opposite her, the binder of evidence resting beside me, a silent, heavy presence. I miss you, she whispered, her lower lip trembling. I miss us. I looked at her, really looked at her. And for the first time, I didn't see the woman I loved. I saw the woman who had lied to me. The woman who had betrayed me. The woman who had treated me like an option. If you missed us, I said, my voice low and steady, you wouldn't be living with him. You wouldn't be telling me you miss me while you're still there. You can't have it both ways, Olivia. She started to cry, the tears flowing freely now. It's not like that, she sobbed. It's just complicated. Complicated, I repeated, a hint of steel creeping into my voice. You're living with your ex while telling me you miss me. That's not complicated, Olivia. It's cowardly, it's dishonest, and it's over. She reached across the table, her hand outstretched. I pulled back, my own hands clenched into fists. Don't, I said, my voice hard. Don't touch me, don't try to sweet-talk me, don't try to manipulate me. I'm done being your backup plan. Her eyes widened, the tears momentarily forgot. Backup plan? Yeah, I said, my voice rising. You think I haven't figured it out? You're test driving David, seeing if he's a better option. And if he's not, you expect me to just be here, waiting like some kind of idiot. Her face paled. That's not true. I reached for the binder, sliding it across the table towards her. Then explain this, I said, my voice cold. Explain the texts, the lies, the fact that he texted me telling me to give you space. From his phone. She stared at the binder, her eyes wide with panic. She didn't reach for it, didn't even try to deny it. She just sat there, her face a mask of shock and fear. The power dynamic had shifted, I could feel it. I wasn't the heartbroken, confused husband anymore, I was in control. She stammered, her voice barely a whisper. You what, Olivia? I asked, my voice sharp. You thought I wouldn't find out. You thought I'd just sit here and wait while you played house with your ex. She shook her head, her eyes welling up again. But this time I didn't feel an ounce of sympathy, just a cold, hard satisfaction. It's over, Olivia, I repeated, my voice firm. I've already talked to a lawyer. I'm filing for legal separation. You made your choice. Now I'm making mine. She stared at me, her mouth slightly open, her face drained of all color. She looked broken, and for a fleeting moment I almost felt bad for her. Almost. But then I remembered the pain she'd caused me, the humiliation, the betrayal, and the feeling vanished. I stood up, my legs steady, my head held high. I deserve better than this, I said, my voice clear and strong. And I'm finally going to get it. I turned and walked away, leaving her sitting there alone, amidst the wreckage of her own making. I didn't look back, I didn't need to, I was finally free. It's been 6 months since I walked out of that restaurant, leaving Olivia sitting there, stunned. The fallout was messy, to say the least. Olivia freaked when the legal separation papers arrived. Apparently she thought I was bluffing. She called, she texted. She even showed up at my apartment, begging for another chance. I didn't budge, I blocked her number. I changed my locks. I built a wall between us, brick by metaphorical brick. It was hard, but it was necessary. The divorce was finalized a few months ago. It was surprisingly amicable, considering how things started. I think she finally realized I was serious, that I wasn't going to be her backup plan. As for David, well, that little fairytale romance imploded spectacularly. Apparently, living with someone is a lot different than texting them sweet nothings. They broke up about a month after I filed for separation. Last I heard, Olivia moved back in with her mother. The irony is not lost on me. My parents, that's a tougher one. They still don't really understand. My mom keeps saying things like, she'll come around eventually. And my dad just shrugs, like it's all some big misunderstanding. I've tried to explain how their reaction made me feel, how their dismissal of my pain made everything worse, but it's like talking to a brick wall. I've distanced myself a bit. It's sad, but I realized I can't keep trying to get validation from people who aren't willing to give it. But there have been good things too, really good things. The restaurant is thriving. Ben's been amazing, stepping up and supporting me through everything. He's more than just a coworker now, he's a true friend. I've also reconnected with old friends, people I'd neglected during my marriage. I'm spending more time with my family, the ones who actually support me, and I've even started taking some cooking classes, something I've always wanted to do. I've changed. I'm stronger now, more confident. I know my worth, I know what I deserve, and I'm never settling for less again. I've learned that sometimes the people you think will be there for you won't, and that sometimes the people you least expect become your biggest supporters. I've learned that it's okay to walk away from toxic relationships, even if they're with family. And most importantly, I've learned that I am enough, on my own, without Olivia, without anyone's approval. So, Reddit, has anyone else been through something similar? How did you handle the fallout with family and friends who didn't support you? What helped you move on and rebuild your life? Just curious to hear your stories.